Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, everybody? My name is Andre. This is actually my first video, so I'm gonna do a little celebration. But I need to first start off with a small introduction. So I'm Andre, and I'm essentially here to go through this crazy chess match of crypto navigation that we all seem to be going through. It can be very confusing, and it's ebb and flows left and right, up and down, volatility, craziness. So yeah, I'm here to offer some advice, offer my opinion. This is not financial advice. I'm not a professional at all. It's pure entertainment, speculation, just a brainstorm. Hopefully I can find a community of people that want to knock ideas left or right. We'll see what we can come up with. Backstory, essentially, I got in when COVID occurred. I was studying pre-med, and that shut things down, essentially, creating some extra time. Of course, prices were ridiculously low levels, and so that drew some attention, and I hopped in a few things, saw some nice gains of success, and from there I kind of didn't turn back. I just kept watching over the months, and at this point I'm starting to see trends a lot better than I did in the beginning. And so days like that just occurred on Monday. This has been a horrific week, and I know it can be tough if you're just getting started, but if you've seen it one or two times already, you'll come to realize that this is actually pretty normalized. And while it might be horrific and it might terrorize you right now, you might feel like you can't come back, you might feel like selling, you might feel like you're in a dark place, it's depression, any of those things. Like, I promise you, this price is going to return. It bounces back. I've seen my portfolio go negative 85%, and I didn't sell the top. I didn't sell in the beginning when I first started. You know what? I never sold, and guess what? Went way beyond what I expected, way past that price that I ever jumped in and saw. So just keep your cool during this period. Take your time away if you need it. Go for a walk, be outside, get some sunlight. But other than that, I want to share some unique ideas and things that I've been seeing in the charts. I've been keeping a lot of things in myself, but I'm gonna finally, start making some videos and see if I can create some type of following, get some cool people to brainstorm me like I mentioned, and let's just jump in and see what we can do. All right, so I've been kind of started navigating the total crypto market, the total market cap, and that seems to be helping me follow like the broader macro trend of things. Before I would zoom in on small things, and I'd be following the minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, hours, whatever, maybe just on one thing. But everything moves at a different pace. Not everything follows the same recipe. So I've kind of started trying to mesh things together and just find a recipe that fits me. We're all gonna have our own ways. So I'm gonna kind of show you some things I've been noticing. So I just made this today, and I thought it was pretty interesting and unique. So I did a Pitchfork, and it's a 3-day chart, and it's showing price action. Right here we're in December of 2020. That's how low we were back when. It's crazy how far we've come. So we started back here in March of 2020. This is that wick. That candlestick right there represents what happened at that time. I got in right during that time. I just saw nastiness. Wow. I didn't know what was happening. But bypass all of that. Let's get to what's happening now. We clearly see that we had a nasty, ridiculous, absurd run up. But if you utilize price action that has occurred over that span of 2 years or so, we're getting some pretty cool stuff, and it's pretty relevant right here, right now, at this moment. And that's why I need to get this out to everybody. So I did a Pitchfork from the high of May 10th, 2021, which, if any of you were around, that was pretty much the top from the initial run up that started in March of 2020. We saw an amazing, whatever the word is, run up again, I don't know. But we came up here, we peaked out, drew down in the summertime, but then we saw another run up and that essentially just ended in November of 2021. So I'm going to use the top, bottom, top there, high, low, high, and from when I do high, low, high, I'm looking for a low essentially. So I put that in there earlier today, and I found some interesting things. So right now we're on a 3-day. If I jump down to the 4-hour, look at these levels that I was able to come across and find some support that actually was real support. And had I did this before and had I known this before, would have resulted in amazing opportunities to buy in. So let's check this one out. So I'm gonna jump down to the 4-hour. Let's go ahead and move that. Zoom in this way. All right. So this is where the drop started. Boom. November. We're all still in the game. Turns out that's our local top. So we start drawing down heavily. So the middle of this pitchfork has a trend line. This midline right here is what I'm now paying attention to. And we can see that had we shorted or had we exited the market at this point, and we just let it ride down, yeah, we had a bounce here. But interestingly enough, let's see if I do this, if that shows that bottom. Doesn't quite show that bottom. Let's see if I can find another one. Not quite, not good enough. No. So that one would have required some other actions. But that wasn't really the local bottom either. But as we see, if we had waited for price action to come and touch this line, you actually are finding the bottom that occurred this year in January. So RSI is low. We see amazing buying opportunity right here. Maybe it's not quite the right time to get in. You do get an impulse up, a nice impulse. There's an almost 9% impulse from that line. But we didn't have a type 1. That's a type 1. We didn't have a type 2 return yet where it came down. So the type 2 comes down, creates divergence right here. Let's go ahead and edit this. Make that smaller so it's more visible. We'll make it a level 2 just for the video's sake. Alright, so we're starting to see that we have some type of case for maybe jumping back in the market. And it really is happening at this trend line. So we see the divergence here. I actually jumped in at this point, but I didn't have this pitchfork. But now I'm seeing the correlation. I have more time. We have more data that's showing on the charts. I'm wondering if this is something real, and you're going to see why in a little moment. All right, so if we jump down on a time frame, it's kind of just going to be like a history, lesson at this point. See what we can derive from these charts and going back, doing our homework. So let's just check it out. So I'm jumping down to the 10-minute now, just to see how price behaved once it was around that area. And you see it, it runs through that line, but we find support quickly. I have some fibs that I'll show you another total chart that I have, which is the main one I've been using to navigate. But now I'm seeing bigger pictures. It's kind of dirty, so I'm creating a new chart just to put some new ideas out. So honestly, you saw a 10-minute drop through, came back, tested it as support, kind of held around that area, and then up thrusted right through it. So right away, you start to wonder, okay, are we starting to bottom after all of that drawdown? You're starting to see some life. So we kind of, just go sideways for a bit. This is what, January 22nd. We really saw the last capitulation on the 24th. So you see it kind of just goes sideways. It hits some significant fibs of mine, which we'll see in another chart. But we draw back down to that area, that midline that I've mentioned. See, we tested as support. Doesn't work. Tested as resistance, so we get some slight resistance. We draw down another maybe 2% or so, 3%. But once again, look at the divergence is starting to play out. So this is from the 4 hour. Let's do this. I need to go ahead and make that visible for only the 4 hour at this moment. All right, so it's out of the way. But then even here on the 10-minute, you start to see these divergences play out. We get a lower low in price action, but a higher high in RSI. We get about, actually it is a slightly lower low, but then it jumps up even higher high on the RSI. So we're starting to see some things we like, and it's starting to stabilize right here. And had you jumped in at this point, you actually called the bottom. So let's check it out. We go ahead again, test that resistance, draw down, find some stabilization, draw up again, and then we create this last little drawback. But look at what we're getting on the RSI at this point. Some really nice divergence. Let's see what it looked like on the MACD. Yeah, I mean, you even get it on the 10-minute MACD, and I'm sure if you go across numerous time frames, you're going to find divergence. But you know, sometimes you can find it on the small, but it's better to find it on the larger time frames. These are all different things to go over later, but let's just follow this one for the moment. So this ends up being the bottom, actually. So it draws up. We come and we test this thing as support just a little bit. We're over here trying to see how we hold, support, drop through, probably just to wick out those last few people, because you're about to be on a ride right now, and they just want to knock out whoever they can. It's a cold game. Boom, drops up, drops down, comes back up, finds support, and then wow, off to the races. So at that point, I'm thinking this is a legitimate trend line right here. So if you were to follow this thing all the way through, price action never really comes back to this line. That was the bottom. So that's a 10-minute. Let's just jump up. Let's jump up to a 2 hour, so we can still see how the price action behaves at that point. So we're gonna go back to that date. Let's go to the 24th. Get some of this good aqua. All right. So if we zoom out, we actually see how price action behaved at that point, and you do see divergence is occurring on these larger time frames as well, which is definitely something to be paying attention to. I mean, we have divergence from the MACD here. I'll point it out to you with this, with these trend lines. We have one right here. Wow. But you see price action goes down, drops down, but we're getting a bounce. And I'm not going to go into how I really draw my conclusions and make my decisions based on the RSI positioning. You know, I'll probably make more I will make more videos in the future, but the RSI is so powerful. That in congruence with the MACD and, you know, price action, it's very powerful, and that's how I've been making a lot of the decisions that I've been making. But I'll just say really quick that when you do see such a large divergence occur and it happens to sit right on top of this line, man, powerful moves result from there. So not only do we have the divergence on the RSI, here's the MACD as well. We can see that we had this negative momentum going downwards, and despite price action shooting down lower, we see momentum is shifting upwards. So MACD is kind of I don't have the full-on, you know, description of what MACD does and this and that, but you know, it is a measure of momentum. So we see that it's moving upwards here, creating divergence. And had you made that call and had you seen that, wonderful opportunity, amazing opportunity. Bam. So you're off to the races. So let's look at things in relation to this trend line. Price action never comes back. We're running up, we're running up. Here's February right here, February 10th. We kind of saw some, there we go. It falls right in line with that. Look at it. If you look left, and if you zoom out and you're not too concentrated on small time frames, it really becomes a lot easier. You just have to zoom out. You have to use a stable mind frame. You don't want to be all fidgety and nervous. Just look over to the left. Where's the last time you saw a major drawback? You saw some movement here. Was trying to find something. Tried to up thrust. But guess what? Wow, big rejection right there. So something's going on right there. And then look, if you just go to the close, and if you happen to sell at that moment or take a short, whatever you might want to do, look at how beautiful. You literally selling the top. You have found a significant resistance. So, you could mark off that level, and I'm pretty sure it becomes relevant in a future moment. So, let's continue following this thing. All right, boom, boom. Find resistance, find resistance. We start to draw back. But when we draw back, we never come back to this trend line. But if you did do a Fibonacci retracement, I bet you'd find an 886. Let's go about right here. So I'm going to have to fix some of these levels. What do we have here? Okay, we're good. We really only want to see a few things. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Nah, we'll keep it. All right. So the one here is showing the bottom. This is where we took the top. And it draws down, and here's the golden pocket. And you see this actually is a pretty decent Fibonacci right here. Runs back to the 786. It does thrust below the 886, but really if you held and you just kind of kept buying in at that point because you see some stabilization right here, you actually are buying the bottom once again. Price action runs up. Okay, so let's kind of remove this fib. I'm gonna, instead of deleting it, I'm gonna kind of fade it out because we might want to go back to that. So we'll just make it like that so you can barely see it. Okay, but it's still there. Cool. All right. So we're, like I said, we're really paying attention to this pitchfork. Draws down, draws up, keeps moving. See more price action. We bounced off of what we thought was the 886. Good job. Running up. Price action continues. This level. Woo. I have to show you my other chart to show you the confluence there. But we don't get it on this chart. We get it in other directions. If you look at your levels over here, you see that you could kind of figure it out. That this is a level of significance. Look, we got rejected here. All right. But here's where it's fun. This is where it's applicable today, right now. We are drawing down, drawing down, drawing down. And guess what? We hit that pitchfork line that I just found. And if you were up last night, I'm getting the goosebumps just thinking about this. Last night around midnight, it hit this level, an immediate bounce. And so far, that is the bottom. I don't truly think that is going to be the absolute bottom. I mean, if we get lucky, we're going to have to watch price action. I do think that we're coming down for a type 2 at this level, which could result in another upthrust similar to what we saw in January. And if so, that is something that you would want to buy right now, possibly long. Depends on your trading strategy, how you want to approach the market. But this line does seem to mean something. So if we go down on a lower time frame and see what just happened, I'm going to go down to the 5 minute. Because I was following this last night, and it helped me out in my long for sure. So I was able to take profits essentially at the bottom. And so I've been, I'll go over Bitcoin and things. I've been doing a lot of work with Ethereum. So I'm going to show you how this correlates. This is the crypto total market cap, how it correlates with price action and these individual coins. So right here we have it essentially almost touching at midnight or 12:10. Okay, so we'll go to Ethereum. Let's this one's really busy, but it doesn't matter. Let's do it because I'm following this one, and you can see how it coincides with some of my fibs and how nicely this is matching up. All right, so we said it happened at around 12:10. All right, you see the drawdown that was occurring. Something new that I've also learned and I'm trying to apply. I hope I have this right. If I don't, you guys can make fun of me and call me out. I mean, I've been trying to look at my world clock to make sure this is actually London time, this is New York time, this is Asia time. So I'm working on my new strategy trying to monitor and see how price action moves and acts within, how would you, I guess, like the market times. Like, so each, I'm just showing you how new I am. This is how foolishly I'm explaining this, how I'm really learning on the fly, and I'm just trying to share with you guys my thoughts as they develop, because that's the way I'm gonna learn. That's the way I'm gonna come across somebody who's gonna offer me a piece of advice, that's gonna be able to tell me how certain things work. We're gonna be able to just bob and weave off one another. So there's different sessions. So we have essentially North America, New York. This is our trading session. This is London, European trading session, and the Asian session, Tokyo. So we've been drawing down. All right, and then in this London session we have here, I believe they were the ones that had the bottom here that just happened last night. So here's 1210. We're drawing down. I'm also starting to think this is possibly the bottom for numerous things that I have going on, but it also is hitting a 2.5 retracement on a Fibonacci that I have drawn. So we normally see some support at significant levels like that. So it does come down. We're also seeing some confluence again with the RSI. Even though it's on the 5-minute, we do see price is drawing down, but we see some momentum starting to move upwards in the opposite direction. Once again, some bullish divergence. So let's go to that chart. All right, we are essentially at that pitchfork line. We draw down for a moment. I even like to go down to the minute. I know people think it's crazy, but it helps me out. I like to see it up close and personal. All right, where are we at? This is the 12th. Cool. All right. We do see, we draw down a bit, and then we get our upthrust right there. So we are holding this line of support. Let's go back to the 5-minute. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this line a little bit darker so we can see it as well, or thicker. That way it's really noticeable. So we actually close a candle body sitting right on top of it perfectly. So that actually has been the bottom so far. We've seen price action thrust up. This is now 12:15. We go to price action here. Let's do a 15-minute chart so we can see it all happening a little easier. $12.15, and look at that candle we got there. That looks like a 7%, 7.22%. In that 15 minutes, if you would happen to see this happening, if you jumped in, you're up nice already. So confluent with that pitchfork midline that I have, price has respected it so far, and we have seen price maintain and hold this position. I wouldn't quite say that it's over yet. I can't tell. We're gonna have to continue watching. The week's almost over. It's Thursday right now. We do have tomorrow trading sessions as well to see what continues, what goes on. Let's go ahead and label this one New York right now. Okay, so we got a label there. So far, we have maintained this position. Based on the charting that I've done, we are sitting right at another golden pocket. 1.618, 1.65. I know it's kind of messy right now. I'm kind of like, I'm bouncing around a few ideas to see which ones are actually legitimate, which ones kind of work into the storyline of what's going, the narrative of things going on in price action right now. So it seems to be confluent to some extent. So I believe this was a little fake out. You can see the M pattern that actually started as well. These have been showing up everywhere. These M patterns have been horrific. They've been drawing price action down for the last 3, 4, 5 days. Every single time you see one of these develop, you get a high, you get a lower low here, but you get this little neckline right here. That's been so scary. I'm going to show you a picture in a minute that I drew. And so price has been drawing down nasty from there. And sadly, we have another one present. Let me see if I can find this Bitcoin chart wherever I have it at. Let's bounce around, see what I can find. Which one actually has it? This one has it. All right. Let's do a little quick 30 minute. All right. So we'll hide it for a second. So yeah, I'm starting to find these M patterns. Here's one here. This is where I actually started my short, or the newer short. I actually started up here, closed that one out, but I'm seeing some more action here, which is telling me like sell, more down action, and we're just kind of started. And man, there's just so many cues that I've seen, like KNC, Luna, like these things I've seen over the last few weeks that have really like solidified my opinion on where we are headed, the direction of things. And again, like I want to get into all of that, but it's just a whole lot to digest and throw out there. I just want to work on a few ideas first here, and then we're gonna get into more. If you guys have interest, just let me know in the comment section. Show me, ask me anything you want me to discuss or have a look at. We can do that together. But let's look at this M pattern that's just now starting to show itself, and we might be developing another one in the moment. I see one right here too. And I just wonder if this is gonna turn into one as well. So we saw price action run up, came here, create a lower high. I'm pretty sure, let's see what we see on you can see on the MACD. No, I don't really like that. That doesn't really show me too much. I mean, at least I wouldn't have had any strong conviction there. I'm really just watching the price action at this point. But nasty face, draws down. You kind of see another one there. But I see one developing here on the shorter time frame. And what I've also noticed is that you really want to have an eye on multiple charts because it's really deceiving. So I think here on Bitcoin, you can see that it creates a higher high, not really on the candle's body closes, but it wicks up, which can be, it's deceiving. But let's have a look at Ethereum. We don't get a wick higher and candle body closes that are lower. So you see more conviction and more reason to believe that you have a double top here. When in Bitcoin, you don't necessarily see the same thing. That's what we see right now. And that is not a good sign. And what happened right after that? You saw the drawdown this afternoon. We are recovering right now. We are battling, but until we see price action that thrusts above that and takes that out, this is just sideways distraction. This is just gonna lull you in, make you think we're thrusting upwards, and then nasty candle down, get you back out of the game. And we're still there. I don't see anything special. So I'm expecting more downside, likely to these levels. And these levels are very, very powerful and significant because if you go back into time, we're going to see that those are the levels that we found the bounces from way back last year in the summer of June and July. Look at how confluent that is. Beautiful, isn't it? I've been drawing these pitchforks and these ideas, and man, this one's kind of wild. The way it's been behaving within these patterns. Don't even look at that. I know that's disgusting. Spaghetti will do it bad. I know, but that's not the one I want to show you. But they have really been working, and I've been starting to implement multiple things into my analysis and my strategy of deciding how things are going, and it's starting to work. So back on total. I mean, this video is pretty much about the total, I guess. I want to show you a little bit of the, the history leading up into this movement that's been going on this year, and just how much these trend lines have been respected. And if you hold on to them, how well they have been able to help you predict when things are topping out, when they're bottoming out, where support resistance might be at. All right, let's move that. Let's create some more space. Okay, this is January. I think January is a good period to start. All right, once again, I know it's a lot to look at, but oh my God, this fib right here has been magic for me. Magic all year and last year. So let's jump in. Let's have a look at this one. All right, so this is in November. This is when we saw the top of this, I don't want to say cycle so far, but this is the top we've seen locally. We get price drawdown, so I drew one of these parallel channels to kind of, just keep things in perspective. When you see this action, you're looking at this price move up and down, like it's sometimes just hard, like it just gets you distracted. You lose like sight and sense of where things are. So it's good to, draw however you like to see things, or however you like to visualize. It's all going to be your trading strategy, whatever you decide that's going to help you. For me, this helps me keep track of where things really are in relation to previous price action, because when you're watching this stuff go sideways, up and down, and it's been a month since that's happened, it gets hard to think about how, especially when this happens, you have emotions, and so your emotions start to come into play, and then you kind of lose track of where this is and what this did in relation to price action a month ago, 3 weeks ago. So if you go from top to bottom and you follow that trend line, obviously there's some sell pressure here. Obviously there's some buy action here. So if you do that, you kind of create this little midline, heart line. And I was essentially waiting to see where we would bottom out at and when we would, break out of this channel we were in. So I did create a Fibonacci. And this fib, let's see how far back, where did I start that? It's kind of hard to tell. I believe that it started, oh no, because the 1 is here. Let's have a look. Let's just see. Oh, I have it inverted right now. Okay, I see where I started it. All right, so another thing that I've been doing is I've been doing a chart inversion with my Fibonacci. So let's see. Once I find a significant time scale that my Fibonacci seems to like show confluence, it respects the boundaries, it respects the 786, 886 golden pocket. I've been kind of keeping it. Oh man, I would have to put all those numbers in here. Let me see. Okay. Let's do it. Why not? Because it's gonna be cool for you guys to see as well. Let me just show you what I did and just how crazy this is. You're gonna see another one of the secrets that's just been having me just mind blown, which is why I need to share this with you. Because mind boggling. And I'm sorry if you can't hear my voice enough that I start to mumble sometimes. I don't have a microphone or anything yet. I'm just getting started, so bear with me. Okay, so I think that I created this. Once I saw that drawdown, I knew that something significant was happening. And I drew a Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, which is where we found some resistance here, support resistance. And we were kind of hanging out. I think it was December 5th. It was 5th and 6th. Yep, 7th. All right, so I drew that. And then I was trying to see if I could, we got to flip it so I can get the 886 down there. I wanted to see how price action where I could find my buy, essentially. If it's stopping here and it's going to reverse back, I'm looking to buy at the golden pocket. I want to see how it respects that zone, which we can see price did well respect that. And we actually didn't come below that. We wicked through for one quick moment, but look at the support we found in the next few hours after that. The next candle's right after that. We have another candle wick touch, but then we start closing bodies right above it, which is really nice to see. And then every time we did draw down, we would get bought right back up if you come to that golden pocket right there. Look at how nice that is. So then we draw back up. And let's see if I add to my fib. I've been using, I haven't really seen anyone doing this, but the 0.141 has been working beautifully for me. I haven't seen many people talk about that one. I think I just made it up, honestly. Because the 414 is something that's been used, but I thought, why not invert the numbers? Because once you're watching this game, once you get used to it, you see that there's a lot of manipulation of certain digits, 3s, 6s, 4s, 1s. It's that's what I say. It's like chess. It's like beauty. Like, this stuff is fascinating, mathematically intriguing. All right, so let's do this reversal that I've been playing with. If I reverse this, because I like what I see so far. I like that price is respecting these trend lines. I like that it's respecting these areas of importance that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna hold on to this trend. I'm gonna hold on to this Fibonacci. So look at this. This is where I start to see things. And it's just started, pretty much in December and January for me. So if you do have that 1.41 and you do happen to reverse your Fibonacci because you like what you've seen here so far, look at what you're able to find. It does thrust above this price again, which might start to confuse you, which might start to make you wonder, like, dang, like, did I mess up? Did I not call the top? If you're short, is there more upside? If you're long, if you bought here and you're wondering, oh, is this going to continue? Because at this point we didn't know. November had just happened. Yes, we had drawn down from all-time high, but yeah, this might have given us a strong signal. But we want the bull run to continue. We want to see price continue moving upwards. So we do start to see this movement up. We do see some significant movement from that bottom up. You're up 26%, 27%. That's great. You're happy. But look at what happens. You hit the 1.141. Nasty rejection. It is the top, as we can tell, as time has shown. Let's have a look at the RSI and see what we see. We do see some divergence. We also see somewhat of a head and shoulder. It's not the nice one, but if I see it, I'm gonna take it. Oh my God! And then this right here on the MACD, oh, it's screaming dead. Like, nope, get out of this. So let's just play with that again. You see higher high price action. You see a lower low on the RSI, and you see a lower low on the MACD. I've learned to respect this stuff like crazy now. Before I didn't see these things, so I would just stay in, Maybe I'm holding I bought here or I'm down low, but I'm not taking profits here because I just did not see these things. But now that I do, and now that you see it on a significant time frame, like 6 hours, or if you see this on the 8, daily, weekly, my God, the things it's gonna do for you and your portfolio and the decisions you make, it's gonna be amazing what it does for you. So I see that, right? Guess what? If you had taken action on that, you're a genius. You're the smart one out of your crew. You just made the call. You called the top. You're celebrating. You made money. Wow, you did this. This is on the total crypto market cap as well that I'm doing this on. But we can have a look and we can see how it coincides with real price action. Let's look at Bitcoin and Ethereum really quick. So it's a 6 hour. This is 5 a.m. on December 27th. So let's have a look. Let's get rid of all the noise. Let's get rid of all of this noise for a second. Okay, 6 hour, December 27th. Let's go here. All right, 6 hour, December 27th. Look at that. Look at how beautiful it is. I mean, you can see how the price action and structure looks slightly different than what you get on the total. But like I said, the more you can absorb from different angles, the more it's going to create this storyline that's going to all come together and create amazing, amazing opportunities. So you don't quite see that top structure. You see a thrust upwards here, which maybe we'll see in Bitcoin. But here, you just see straight price action stuck right across. That is a top. Let's see what I have here. I have some Pitchfork, but it doesn't show me anything in on my chart that would know it was there. But again, like, it's not as clear here. On the 6 hour, you don't see it as easily. RSI is different, but you can clearly see that there's a level of resistance right there. Let's have a look at Bitcoin and see what it did. I don't know if this is the one I want. Where's the most recent? Let's see, let's find it. Yeah, let's look at this one. Oh man, there's just so much. I have way too much. I know the video's getting long, so I'm gonna keep on making videos, but I'm gonna keep showing you guys like some of these things. Like, I have this line on Bitcoin. This is also another reason, confluence, that helped me decide that the bottom was in last night, that we're gonna have this run up today. And I think this might sustain, maybe into the weekend, maybe into next week, but this is important. So before we talk about that, let's go December 27th. Actually, before we do that, let's go 6 hour. All right, here we go. Where are we at? Here we go. My God. So look, we saw Ethereum. Ethereum was kind of flat right here, looking like a classic BART. Flat across here, you got to be expecting a BART pattern right there, which it did play out. But then on Bitcoin, that looks more like the total crypto market cap. You see that quick up thrust, which is going to scare away everybody who was already short, everyone who already thought that they had this market figured out, everyone who was over leveraged and way too heavy at one level and didn't leave any room for upside. I mean, that's what this does. That's what that candlestick does. It kicks you all out before the real fun starts, right before the real price action occurs. So Bitcoin is the one doing that, it seems to look like. But look, if you had not fallen for that, and if you were playing these candle bodies, closes, and even the wick, look at you, you're just finding amazing entries. Look to the left. Don't get caught up in what's happening right in front of you. They like to play games. It's all kinds of games. So we can see that total crypto market cap calls out those tops. December 5th, 5 a.m. or December 27th, 5 a.m. Look, top, call, wow. This line here, I'll go ahead and just quickly show you it because it's relevant in this moment right now. It just hit last night. This thing goes back again into October. I like to keep my trend lines. If they have some significant price action that, it's bouncing off of it, I don't really delete it because you never know when it's going to come into play again and when it's going to be tested or it's used as a level of support or resistance. But what I'm seeing right now is this one right here. I drew it back here October 15th. You saw it respected October 27th. You saw it respected here again November 25th. And then price finally thrusted below it, which should have been your first big warning sign that maybe the trend is changing. I mean, that was a nasty move, but guess what? It thrusted all the way back up, came to that line, rejection, 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 thrust above. We get that movement that we were just talking about, the December 27th move. Look, it was a fake out M pattern. You get a little lower low. Let's see what the divergence looks like here. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Bearish divergence there. Bearish divergence on the MACD. Boom. We're going back below. And as we do, we break below. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Resistance, resistance. Down thrust. Come back again. We've been fighting to get above. Come back down below. You know, what are we in? We're in March now. So we've been playing along with this line, it looks like, since October. And I mean, I haven't really looked at it again until yesterday, until last night. Look what happened. Zoom out. Here's February. Here's the last top we had in March. And a down thrust to where? Right at that level. I was watching that level to see if it mattered last night, and it did. And that's why I'm surprised. That's why it's like, you know what, I gotta start making these videos because I don't see anyone really saying this yet. And you know, we all have our subjective approach. We all have our different strategies. And you know, if this can help somebody, you know, I'm here for that. Like I need that to happen. We all need that to happen, man. This is turbulent, horrible times. Like we need all the help we can get. So yeah, I'm looking at this as some significant level that's gonna play into price action over the next few weeks. Here's a 30-minute. That's what happened. When we hit that level, we bounced off of it. So I expect price action to come back down again, and we're gonna see whether or not we find support there. So that's Bitcoin a little bit. Total. I know I'm everywhere. This is all off the top, but I want to show you guys this again just to see like how crazy it is with the Fibonacci extensions, and you know, seeing them out into the future and how it might help you and what you might find. So honestly, like I said, I made this Fibonacci based off of that December 7th move. Or no, wait, I think that one was off of this December 3rd move, I think. Yeah, it was. That was when we first saw that first drop off. And then we found some new action here, a new storyline, which is the one I started jumping on. But let's have a look. So if I extended those lines upwards, you can see that, just so things are a little easier to see, that the higher golden pocket was actually a top call before that December 3rd drop. You can see that it was also support back in November, the beginning of November, before we made that last move upwards. And then let's see if I can do one more. There's a 2. Let's do a 2 point. Let's see how close we get to the top with that. Pretty close, but let's see if we can get a little bit closer. We might or might not. Excuse me. 2.236. Let's try that. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at the confluence. Look at what you can do if you choose the right spot. And you don't abandon your work sometimes. Like, don't abandon it. I mean, yeah, it might not be relevant within that 1 to 0 range anymore, but extend that Fibonacci. If it's that good, if it's that powerful, you know, those lines might play into the future or the past. Like I've done some work where I've retraced mine years back, months back, and they are respected, even though I'm finding something in the future here, or even in the past. If I find a good Fibonacci in the past, and I extend that one upwards throughout the duration of this of Bitcoin cycle, of any of these coin cycle, it seems to respect these levels. And so here I see a 2.33, or yeah, this is a 2.236. That would have literally called you the top of so far where we're at in this cycle. And November 10th. All right, So there's just so much more I want to go over. I know the video was a little long, and I mean, there's just way too many concepts. Before I finish that, let me go back and put my little special. Yeah, I need that. All right. Yeah, so I mean, just that alone, we found this bottom. Um, like I said, I was waiting for price to really find a thrust above this channel in support. You can see that happened. We had a few fake outs, but you gotta be ready for those. Usually the first or second ones, like they're always fake outs. Like you have to be ready for that. So that's just more psychological things that you kind of see as you go along with the game, and you see price action and how it behaves overall. I mean, you just have to study these charts. You have to study the movement and how the market maker goes about setting the direction of these prices. What the behavior is really behavioral patterns. I haven't dove into the psychological aspect of it, but it's so much of it is, and you can see it repeating over and over. And I mean, I think that would be interesting to get into as well over time. But just a few more little gems before I close this video out of things that I found, which is crazy. All right. So we can see we had the double top here. We kind of went over that a little bit already, I think. I mean, you see it's still what I say. I did this in December, right? Look at how it's playing out into the future. I did this in December. Drawdown. Before that, this is how I found the bottom as well. Before we go there, let me show you how I started to figure out where the bottom was. I had that Fibonacci, right? And I drew my fibs lower. And look at the important levels. The important levels are the golden pocket, the 618, 65, the 786, and the 886. So once this move started, you can see again that it was rejected. What we once found as support now turned into resistance. So at that point, I'm starting to draw my lines further down. I'm starting to think, okay, something's about to happen. I think we're about to see a major move downwards. And if I remember right, this happened on the weekend. If we look, January 21st, I think was the weekend. Let's have a look. It was Friday. Yes, Friday. So then the 22nd was the weekend. And I remember we bounced on Friday. It might have been Friday. I think it was Friday night, actually. Because I think I remember MM Crypto was on a flight, he said, overseas, and price dumped. No, I don't know if it was that night. I think it was a different night, actually. I think that was in December when he got caught. But it was kind of funny or whatever. But anyways, this was Friday. I remember the price was running up, and I was like, there's no way that the market's not going to want that price, because this is the bottom since that November move. They need to be a part of this. So I knew price was running up. I made my moves on that. But I expected price to come down on Monday. And look at what it did. It came down Monday. But look at the levels. Once again, the 1.886 candle close right there. And then you never come back. That is the bottom. Because you used the 786, the 886. And it was it's from December. Come on, it was months ago. And look at how much it can direct and navigate what you have going on. So I tracked it. I drew these trend lines. Like I said, I've been noticing that a lot of the things that happen are fake out and distraction, and like it's if you think that you draw the line from here to here, yes, I believe that has some significance somewhere down the line. But I mean, I see more closures happening around here, more action around here, so I'm following that one more. And these are fake outs. I'm just looking at them as fake outs. These are trying to get you out of the game. They're trying to throw you off track. They're trying to make you lose direction. You start drawing this to this, and you might not get the same price action. You might not get the same levels of support and resistance. So I drew this one, right? And I followed that. And I also had this one because this was clearly the support and resistance for, let's see, how many weeks? January 22nd all the way through February 3rd, so almost 2 weeks. This line was respected, and you see into the future how it's also showing you where the top is potentially at. It also shows where you're going to see a trend reversal in the bottom from here. Price went up there, it came down, played around this area for a second. You see it getting rejected, and then you see a follow through. So this was also something that just really showed, like it's a game changer. It made a big difference, and it really helped me decide where price is going at this time. So I never took it away, right? I kept it, and look at what we get here. Started this, January. This is the January time frame. Fast forward to April and May. No, March and April for this point. I see that it starts to come here again. And look at what we have. And if you were paying attention at all, you know what happened at this point. Price action ran up, roared up. I think we were at 40, or was this 47,000 for Bitcoin? But we're just bouncing. And I see it hitting here, and I'm thinking, all right, this is it. This is resistance. Like, this is the top. Because the sentiment was just too bullish at that point. Everyone was going crazy. Everyone was jumping in. Everyone thought we were reversing. Like, that was it. And that's when they get you. That is where they trap you. It's December. Here we go. This is the time frame. Yep, 48,000. We ran up. We hit my level of support resistance right here. RSI is oversold. Way oversold. Major divergence. Like, very obvious divergence. See that? Price is continuing upward. It's going sideways all the way through from March 28th to April 4th. A solid week of sideways in this range, in that area. And look at what the RSI is doing. Just going down. Look at the momentum. Just getting more negative and more negative. We even crossed to the downside here and never went back up. But you're still here. You're getting amazing opportunities. Like, they're just loading up. They're just loading up shorts. Big players were loading up shorts to play out what we just saw happen this week. They stayed here and they loaded the bags up for a straight week, man. A straight week they loaded it up. And then look at how it played out on Bitcoin ever since then. Just the follow through. Since that moment. Ethereum. This is the follow through. Since that moment. Ethereum, you actually saw price moving up a little bit. Ethereum was probably ETH BTC pair was probably showing a little bit more strength. But nevertheless, load up, load up, load up. I mean, I have some fibs or pitchforks to kind of help me. I mean, it's just confluence. So I also had these pitchforks that were telling me this is where price is going. This is where it's topping out at. In alignment with total right here, topping out. In alignment with Bitcoin, reaching some resistance. Look at that support from April of 2021. Our last top. It's all about these levels. Come all the way across, and then boom. This is where they loaded up at. This is the latest load up, and this is the follow through that's occurring right now today. Crazy, right? Crazy, right? Amazing. So yeah, I'm still expecting some downside. I do think we found some support right here. It is worth noting. I would watch, if you guys want some numbers, pay attention to that 25,500 again. That is likely to return. That is where we're going to probably find some support. And we're already starting to see some bullish divergence start to develop here. I don't think it's done yet. I wouldn't go all. This is not all in right here. But if we can get a type 2 and it respects that and drives up again, we do see some of the oscillators in favor of a move upwards, you might just see a bottom happen there, or not even a bottom, but something similar to what happened in January. You know, you might get a 30% move upwards based on these bounces around these areas. You know, 33, 36%. Type 2, look at your 38% again. So if this plays out like that, you know what I'm thinking? I think we get another 30-something% move into what? Right into resistance. Bam. You know, you get a 30-40% move right into these levels of resistance, which would be a wonderful spot to, again, see a downside move. That's just my opinion. That's Bitcoin. Same thing Ethereum. Let me use this one. This one's just too dirty. I like this one. More Pitchfork stuff. I had it ranging here. Once it broke this level at Pitchfork, I knew it. We're going down violently. Even right here. Pitchfork, we broke up. Okay, we're at the top of this Pitchfork. Look at that's that April move where we loaded up at. That's where everything happened here. Downside. Let's say you didn't get out. You're here at the middle of the Pitchfork. Ranging. But oh, we finally break down. And what happens? We go up, test it, resistance, downside. Plays out. But let's have a look. Damn, 50% essentially for Ethereum there. Outperformer, right? 53%. Woo! So let's say we do get another bounce here in this area. Let's see what 50%, 45% does. 47%, 50% takes us right to the same level of resistance here. Takes you right into this Pitchfork as well. Or actually, yeah, takes you to the midline. Maybe to the top of this blue one. I'll get rid of this one. But yeah, you could see a retest. 2530. Yeah. 2500 to 2550 or so. You know, I would watch out for those levels. So yeah. First video, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you saw some eye-opening details right here. There's so much more I want to show. It's just, you know, I have to talk about how I shorted KNC from the top from $6. Luna, I was going to short from like, I think it was around like about 105 is where I started to think like this isn't gonna hold. And I saw what was happening in KNC, and it was just kind of like a symbol, or it was telling me that, you know, I think something significant is going to happen in the market, and we are at a top that's going to result in horrific downside, and we've seen that play out already. But I'm going to go over that in a different video. I can show you guys what happened there and what I saw. But I hope you guys can give me some support, give me a like, comment, let me know what you think. Definitely have more to tell you about, more to show, more insight. I'm gonna love you guys to, you know, throw your ideas out there as well. Let's keep this up. So thanks for watching. Appreciate the support. Let's do this again. There.